Hey folks, this is Nate coming at you on April 23rd. So tonight I'm going to do a version 2 of the config that I have for Link's Soundfonts that he packaged specifically for Bendu Armory. So this is a set of 10, I think is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so there's a set of 10 sound fonts that I've matched Bladestyles. Now in the version 1 that I did some months back, I liked the way those styles came out. However, they were a little bit rough, and upon sort of getting more familiar with the sound fonts, one of the areas that I realized needed some work was that the way that Link put the blasts together, the blast files for his fonts, is a little bit, they're sort of a little bit more elongated blast files, more kind of textured sounds, and the standard blasts that I was using in my style codes weren't really meshing very well with them. So that's sort of one area that I went through and revamped, was sort of an attempt to make my style codes match his blast sounds a little bit better. And then in some cases I've switched the styles completely where I wanted a little bit more accuracy with the character that the sound font was representing. So without further ado, I'm going to run through version 2 of my set of Bladestyles for Link's Bendu Armory sound fonts. This is Arcane. Now this is a good example of the blast files. So in some cases I've added blasts that have multi-layers to them that do color shifting, and then in some cases I've lengthened the TR fade values for the blast so that they just stay on the blade longer. This is a real flame blade that licks up the blade. This next one is Blaze, and this is going to be a red flame blade. Now in the case of Blaze, both the blasts and the clashes sort of have this longer extended texture sound to them. And then that one I'm using a TR cycle as for the retraction.
Name's Kyle Katarn.
And this one is Counterstrike, and this is going to be a deep blue, sort of a dark blue, dim blue, random flicker blade. Now I know that originally I did, I think, an unstable flame blade that was blue for this one, but I sort of decided on a simpler design for this, something more in a light side Jedi theme. Again, notice how the blasts now are a lot more in sync with the texture and the length of the blasts of the sounds. And this is Immortal, and I changed up this blade style completely. This is now purple. Effect.
Essence transfer is the secret of eternal life. Not everything is what it seems.
And this is Justice. And then this was another blade style switch once I realized that this was actually a font for Palm Krell. So this is a blue-green pulse blade. And this is Legacy. And this is going to be a blue unstable blade. The bright white power up. It's a little bit harder to sync the blasts on this one because the blasts are at very different time intervals. And it's got a really, really fast retraction. So I actually had to fix that retraction timing as well. The one before it was a little too slow.
I am Darth Talon.
And this is Loyalty. And this is a red rolling pulse blade. Can't remember. Oh yeah. So here we go. This is Mobile Suit. So Mobile Suit. I think the original version of blade style I had for this one was a teal. I took the blade style that I originally put on Unstoppable and is now on Mobile Suit, and I've also modified it a little bit to match the font better. And part of the reason I did that was because I also realized that Unstoppable was a Bastille Sean sound font, so I made that one a yellow blade style to match that font, and then I put the silver one on this one. So Mobile Suit is now this dark silver static flame blade. This was the one that was at the time I did version 1 of this config. I just built that blade style, and it was sort of like one of my originals. So here we go. So I modified the overload prion to match this font, so it's a little longer now. Drops into a nice dim silver blade. And again, the clashes and the blasts have been adjusted again to match the font. Then here's the force effect, which turns the blade into a pixelated, unstable swing. So that one's probably my favorite in this entire config. It's still one of my favorite blade styles that I've built just in general. I love silvers, and yeah, anyway, that was a blast to build.
This is our galaxy, Sidious.
So I encourage people to take a look at that one, pull it apart and change it around and sort of build something different out of it to suit their own tastes. It's a lot of fun doing that. So this next one is the Wise, and this is an orange-red hyper-responsive flame blade. Okay, and then this is the last one in the config. This is Unstoppable, and this is a Bladestyles sound font, and this is a what is this? This is a dark yellow per flicker LED blade. A bright white power up. And so this is one of the few blasts on these style codes where I'm using a very contrasted multicolor. So on this one, I'm using a white-red pairing. So you notice it hits a red first and then falls back to a white. I think I'm doing a slight brightness increase on the swing. I'm having a hard time getting the melt on this. So those are my V2 styles for Link's set of Bendu Armory Bladestyles, Bendu Armory Soundfonts, and so these are this set, excuse me, is compiled on ProffieOS5.9. I am going to take this set and also do a version of this config under Proffie 6.7, but that's going to take a little bit more work, mainly because I wanted this config sort of really centered around Bendu Armory's chassis, which uses a KR 28mm speaker, and that 28mm speaker specifically, as well as some of the other 28s that are out there, like the Smuggler's Outpost High Base, Smuggler's Outpost Elite, in the dark, and then also the KR 28s. Those all have some issues on that I've run into personally under ProffieOS 6.7, getting the clash thresholds and the volume relationship set correctly, to where I'm not getting a slew of unprompted clashes and blasts and stabs going off on the blade. So I still need to work through that and find sort of a sweet spot for the configs that I use on sabers with those 28 speakers. So when I'm able to do that, I will release a second version of this config under ProffieOS 6.7. But until then, it's just going to take some more testing and a little bit more time. So it is coming. But thanks everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoy this version 2, and I'll leave a URL to my pastebin where you can go and grab these styles if you like. All right, take care. See you on the next one.